Beyond Saltmarsh is a game played by adults and recorded for an adult audience. Sometimes we use adult language and explore adult topics. Consider yourself warned. Hello! Oh, hi! How's everybody doing out there? This is the Superior Adventurers Guild. My name's Dave, your humble dungeon master. Welcome back. We're going to play some Beyond Saltmarsh because that's what we do on Wednesday nights here on the Superior Adventurers Guild Twitch channel. Thanks for joining us. If you're here joining us on Twitch, maybe you're watching this in the future on YouTube. It doesn't really matter to us. We're just happy that you're here. We're excited to be here. I'm excited to play Dungeons and Dragons with some of my bestest besties in the whole wide world, my friends and my good buddies. Let's meet them. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Welcome back to Beyond Saltmarsh.
Thanks for having us here on Guild Superior.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves and tell the folks a little bit about what we're doing tonight. Andy, why don't you start us off?
Hey everybody, my name is Andy. I'm playing Rhunar Deg. He is an human, dual sword wielding, sometimes Battlemaster fighter and captain of the Good Buddy. And we just finished a big battle rumble in the jungle. And we got to decide what we want to do next.
Quick question, Andy. What does Rhunar do the other times?
When he's not dual wielding?
Yeah.
He's hitting things with other weapons.
Such as?
Such as daggers, axes, battle axes. I got a couple spears. I got them all.
Trident?
I don't have a trident yet.
Not
I got
yet.
a halberd.
We got
a long bow, a short bow,
Back
a
up.
pike.
I keep it back on the boat.
He's got a knife.
You almost had a flail.
I almost had a flail
almost
with
a three-headed
burning
flail.
wolf heads on it, but that didn't work out.
No.
Anyway.
I definitely asked you 5 times about it, though.
Yeah, you looked for it, that's for sure. All right, Kirk.
I am Kirk.
You're
and
in
I
a
am
new
playing,
setting.
I am only for this 1 week. And I'm not going to tell you where I am.
We're super
Those
curious.
of you who are hunting me, FBI.
Kirk is in the witness protection program, so we're gonna keep his location confidential.
It's Byron Hern.
Nice.
I am a 7th level rogue, 1st level fighter. The fighter, I don't really dabble into that too much. Last week, I may or may not have dismembered part of a Shizuba and hung its paw from my belt. And I also am considering, but haven't yet reached a decision on what Danverius's fate will be. But regardless, whatever decision I come up with, I may or may not fill in the rest of the gang.
I'm just curious, how close were you to throwing down the gauntlet last session?
If my insight check had been higher and Byron knew more, Danverius would be a puddle right now.
Oh my.
Interesting.
Why?
But I don't know anything about
we'll
him.
get into that later.
I don't know. I think he's fine. I think he's great. I'm going to give him my bunk.
Okay. Hi, Chad.
Hi. It's me, Chad, a.k.a. North Shore DM, a.k.a. Real SimG, a.k.a. Tenoch Knucklebones. Today, everyone's favorite halfling diviner from the jungles of Greyhawk, the jungles that are in Greyhawk. That's, on the streets and the boats. That's where just kicking it like Mother Tiger, ready to cast spells and punch.
Names.
Punch foes, take names. I'm all out of spells. I'm not actually out of spells. I'm happy to be back. Happy to play. Thank God I'm not at work anymore. We're doing some good stuff. Here we go. Okay, that's it.
Hi, Michael.
I don't know how to follow that, although admittedly, to be fair, Tenoch Knucklebones is only my second favorite halfling diviner from the jungles of the world of Greyhawk. So careful with how you sell that, bro.
Number one, who's your first? And number 2, what's their address?
They're the halfling inside us all. So the address
Oh,
is with everyone.
it's in your heart.
Exactly.
That's a lot of fireballs.
Look, you gotta start somewhere.
Friendship.
But I believe I'm playing Theodoric Thalassitus, the half-elf hexblade warlock, who last session found a pit trap and didn't fall in it, and that was nice. The specter bit is always fun because he's totally not a necromancer, but it happens occasionally. He dabbles a little bit, just a little bit of salt on it, for flavor.
Put some gravy on it.
What they said, and that's all I've got.
Whew. Well, now you know who we are. Let us know who you are in the chat. We'd love to engage with you throughout the game tonight. A couple of announcements. Chad, why don't you kick us off?
Yes, hello. As many of you are, I am sure, familiar with, tomorrow is the return of Midwinter Keening. I say return because, of course, we were only gone for a week, and now we're back like normal. It's good. We're playing Svealand, campaign setting by Dream Realm Storytellers, who is our gracious official sponsor, and I'm excited to get back into it and play with my friends tomorrow. Hopefully,
Yay.
it'll be good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys almost made me cry last week, so we'll see what happens this week.
That was good.
Aw.
It was
Now
good.
next week we're gonna almost make you bleed.
Oh, is that a promise?
So highs and lows, I guess. It's a
Is it
roller coaster.
That's
steamy?
how we do it. That's how we
It's a
do
roller,
it. It is.
It's a roller coaster of love and blood right here in Svealand.
You can tell that we're all very happy to see each other. That's for one thing. Or can you? Anyhow,
you can.
yeah. Anything else, Chad? I'm sorry.
I want to share my other thing.
Yeah,
It's
do
not
it.
official yet, but I want to do it. I'm excited.
Do it. You got it.
So some of you out there are familiar with the concept of gaming conventions, where you go and play games with strangers and sometimes with your friends. You may have heard of Gamehole Con, which is in Madison, Wisconsin, which is a very fantabulous con, and it also has a virtual component thanks to the decade that was 2019. And I have submitted two games to run for pretty much whoever wants to sign up for it at GameholeCon. One game will be Bearcats, which will use Index Card RPG, which is essentially a sci-fi version of the classic 1980s movie Red Dawn.
Did you already say the dates?
I haven't yet. I'll do that right now. It's the weekend of October 22nd, which also does happen to be my birthday.
Ooh.
Where I will be a slightly older man. Yeah, so the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Madison, Wisconsin, also online. And I'm also going to be running Xeno Dead Zone. Everyone's favorite alien shooting, rootin' tootin' space marine game. Also by Runehammer Games. I'm excited. Hopefully they will accept my submittals.
Gamehole Con, we know you're watching because you're here every week. So just make sure Chad's games get in there. That's all we ask.
Yeah.
Or else.
I was there in 2017. It's super fun. I played a lot of good games. I watched a lot of awesome panels. Got to meet some folks high up in the food chain briefly. You've heard of them. Their names are in books. It was fun. So check it out. Play games, have fun, go with or without a mask. It's up to you. And science.
I did see that they are requiring people to be vaccinated, though.
They are, which is super cool.
Yep, that's great. All right, thanks, Chad. I've got a couple of announcements, kind of keeping on that same theme. Superior Adventures Guild will also have a presence at Virtual Greyhawk Con in October. We're going to be running a highlighted stream, which is going to be really cool. We're super honored to be part of this, and we are working on the details of what we're going to be running, but it's going to be a 5th edition D&D one-shot set in Greyhawk. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. It's gonna be really fun.
October's going to be a big freaking month.
I know.
On top of my birthday,
Oh gosh.
I will be playing 3 bullywugs in a nice cloak and chainmail.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. Polished chainmail. All right, I have one more announcement, and guys, here's an idea for you. Let me know what you think about this. We've all got a dungeon master in our life, right? You, me, everybody that's in the chat, right? Why not gift them something special this week, right? Why not? I don't know. Maybe get them a set of beautiful maps created by the best-selling DMs Guild creators at CZRPG. It was just off the top of my head. The producers gave me the script here to read too, but our friends at CZRPG, God bless them. God's bless them. Somebody bless them, please. They have been gracious enough to support our stream, and we hope that you guys that are out there in the chat, you folks, will support them. Christian and his team at CZRPG create and publish a variety of unique content for 5th edition's Dungeons & Dragons, including settings, adventures, map packs, players options. This week, as part of our weekly giveaway, CZRPG has donated a digital copy of Mordenkainen's Magnificent Mansion map pack. It's a lot of M's. The alliteration is strong with this one. It's pretty awesome. It's an exquisitely detailed product with a map for the fabled mansion of the Mad Mage. There are mansion tokens that you can drop into your Dungeon Master's VTT. Several map backgrounds that you can utilize for different settings for this particular mansion. You can use it in any sort of wilderness encounter. It's really, really sweet. And I'm not going to lie, fellas, I really could have used this during my Curse of Strahd campaign when we were poking around Mount Baratok, and we ran into the Mad Mage himself. These were before Corbin's days in Curse of Strahd. So, but anyhow, guys, you know how to enter into the giveaway. Kirk is going to show you how. All you have to do is enter the code word CZRPG, and you'll be entered into the giveaway. We will draw one lucky winner at the end of the stream tonight. So stick around and hang out. You do have to be present to win. But yeah, you guys, also right below Chad and Michael, if you guys just kind of point down at that URL. Yeah, there's a URL right there, and we'll drop it into the chat periodically as well. bit.ly/guild-CZRPG. Go check out their whole library on DM's Guild. It's pretty rad. They do a lot of really good stuff. Christian, if you're here with us, thank you so much. CZRPG folks, you are the best. We love you. Support these folks. They're awesome. And in doing so, you'll support us as well. So there you go. Thank you, producers, for that copy. Whew, I need a sip of this beverage. What do you guys say we jump into tonight's episode of Beyond Saltmarsh?
Yeah.
All right.
Beyond Saltmarsh?
Yeah, let's do it. All right, let's start with our... let's do it. Is it Wednesday yet? Can we say that? That's not trademarked. All right, here we go.
It's true.
In our last episode, folks, the Deg Gang did battle with the Snarl-Tooth Savages, a pirate gang of gnolls atop a clearing in the Gloomhaven Glades. You defeated the gnoll pirate captain, Dakaz Drekai, and his band of pirates using roguelike stealth, battlefield control, and benefiting from the aid of some unseen entity in the deep jungle surrounding the gnoll. That works. You rescued a small group of Lambakayan villagers along with a man from an upriver village called Moradu, which you guys learned had been decimated by a strange monster fitting the description of the aberration that you've been tracking since it attacked Tanika back in the town of Cyber. That was quite a while back. Searching the camp, you discovered a small chest filled with all kinds of valuable gemstones and a modest hoard of coins. There was much discussion of the Snarl-Teeth pirates and their grounded ship to the south. You debated your next course of action, determining it best to return the villagers to Lambakaya before pressing on in search of the monster. As the night set in, Byron and Danverius patrolled the perimeter. The two of you engaged in a somewhat awkward conversation that we alluded to earlier, in which Byron offered to endorse the guide in a bid to join the Deg Gang, even going so far as to give him your bunk on the Good Buddy. And then, after sort of confusing him greatly, you turned to accuse him of orchestrating the warehouse heist to steal Mariconia's precious cargo. There are a few tense moments as the two of you danced around a possible confrontation, like a good old-fashioned stare down, and neither of you drew a weapon. But as you turn to walk away, Byron, you glance down to see Danverius' hand firmly gripped on the hilt of his dagger in readiness for a confrontation. Having diffused the tension for the moment, the two of you separated and went your opposite directions to continue your watch. And so what we're going to do is we are going to pick up on the following morning. You have all benefited from a long rest. There was no chaos or conflict throughout the rest of the night beyond what we just talked about. You find yourselves at the Knoll campsite. Flies and other creepy crawlies have begun to feed on the corpses of the fallen gnolls, and the bloated stench of decay begins to offend your nostrils as you rise from a restful, albeit uncomfortable sleep. My friends, what would you like to do?
Okay, the first thing I'm going to need to do is we're going to need to get an itemized list of all available items in this tent, and then in this camp, we're going to need to make sure we organize them alphabetically, work out where... Fuck any of that. I'm pretty much ready to go whenever you guys are.
I want to burn it to the ground. Let's get everyone out of camp, and then I'll light it on fire.
Well,
Interesting.
that's a pretty big signal for anybody watching.
I don't care. Burn it to the ground. The signal is don't camp here. You're too close to the village.
I have to agree with Byron, and that really worries me, but I'm going to, because I do think this should be torched.
Yeah, well, let's get to it then, yeah?
All right.
Danverius lights up a torch and starts... He lights up a torch and hands it to you, Byron.
Oh, thank you, Danverius, you kind sir.
I think he's on to you. I'm going to roll an insight check. D20 insight check. Here we go.
Oh, that's right. I don't have any fire spells.
Plus...
I specifically didn't take any fire spells as
18.
a forest dweller.
Kirk, Byron, I rolled a... Oh,
What would
yep,
I roll a deception check to counter that?
Yep, if you're trying to deceive him.
I mean, I don't want it to be blatantly obvious. Yeah, I'm rolling deception.
All right. What is insight? Intelligence?
19.
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay, so you rolled a 19 and I rolled a, let's see, wisdom. I rolled a 20. He has a +5.
Wow.
So he kind of looks at you.
I'll kind of look at him.
And Theo's like just standing right there. Like if the camera was panning back and forth between their faces, you pull out, and then Theo's like right here, standing between them, going, "What is happening?"
Danverius is kind of doing that Larry David thing from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah. The eye.
What is going on here?
Oh yeah, I'll pull a Leonard Nimoy.
What's going on over here?
What you?
A Leonard Nimoy?
Yeah, mate, it's nothing. Yeah, it's all good. All
right.
And Danverius lights up a second torch and starts lighting the canvas tents on fire with you.
He's winning points with me right now.
But as the torch begins to fire, and Theo's gonna catch up with Byron and go, "Byron, what was that? Like,
What was what?
The weird staring thing. Like, if you're flirting with him, that's fine, and I don't judge. But I just want to know, because if that's going to be a problem down the road as things go on...
I'll whisper to Theo, it's going to be a problem. Down the road,
At this point, the tents engulf quickly. They're very dry, and they start to burn, flames leaping into the air 10 to 15 feet above them. They're burning quick. There's not a ton of fuel to them.
And Theo's just like, "We'll tell you what, once we get back to town, after this is resolved, we'll find you a nice boy. We'll get this all taken care of." Just kind of pats him on the back. Okay, let's get everyone out and go.
Yeah, we got to escort these these captives back to the village, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
How far away was that again, Dave?
Better part of a day, but not a full day. via the trails. And let's see, now that you have some of the locals with you, why don't you go ahead and roll a survival check with advantage. And then tell me what you got.
The big guns.
20. Not
Nice.
natural.
Okay. Yeah, you make good time, and with the help of one of the guides who you learn, his name is Abdasir. He's one of the older fellas that you saved out of the pit, along, if you remember, with a man named Rollstaff from Moradu, and then there was one other survivor. So 3 survivors that make it much easier for you to find your way through the jungle. And you make your way down the trails and back to the riverside village of Lambakaya. And as you enter the clearing, you see villagers busy at work, repairing their huts, processing fish, gathering and sorting a colorful assortment of fruits. Some relatively familiar faces look up to greet you with guarded smiles, and then they quickly return to the work at hand. You continue to enter into the village, and the surviving villagers that you rescued kind of run into the village as best they can and hug some of the folks, probably family members. You watch, pretty proud of yourselves, feeling good that you did something for these families. And at that point, you see the leader of this small group of villagers, a woman that you know, and I'm probably going to murder her name because I can't remember how I said it before, but Nimue Canieros. Nimue. She approaches and welcomes you. You have returned and successful. Thank you so much. Tell me, the gnolls, will they be following you back to us? Will they be giving us more trouble?
There were no survivors, so that's very unlikely.
Do we see the smoke column from here?
No, you wouldn't see it. The only way that it could possibly be visible would be to Tenoch's familiar, the black-collared hawk.
Okay.
Because of the way that the jungle is here, it's very thick and you don't really see the horizon. But it's also been a couple of hours, and as I mentioned, there wasn't a ton of fuel to burn. It was mostly tents and the structure of the tents. Some spoiled food and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. And everything's kind of wet.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Grody.
It's a jungle.
We raised their camp.
We don't think any survived, yeah.
Yes, I know of the location.
At some point, we'll check into their ship and make sure there's no one left there.
And then we'll burn that too.
Have there been any problems here?
We'll steal it.
In the
We
village?
we have done our best to rebuild, to repair, and to move on. Now that the fallen have been buried, there is much work to be done for survival. We intend to send a canoe downriver to Cyber, laden with fruits to sell and purchase supplies to rebuild.
I would like to telepathically communicate with the captain, and I will say, in your mind, perhaps we should offer them one of the gems, since we did not rescue all of their folk.
Yeah, okay, I agree.
You can't
Excuse me?
answer
She
back. It
says.
only goes one way.
She says, "Excuse me?" And she kind of looks confused when you say that. And then she says, she shakes her head. She's like, "There will be a feast in your honor tonight. It looks as though you have brought a good omen to our small village, and we will honor you with food and dance this evening."
Well, if there's dancing, how could we say no to that? I love a good dance.
That sounds good. You guys up for taking a rest before we head out again?
Definitely, because it is getting near the end of day, and also, we are much closer to our quarry than we thought we were, as the village of
Moradu.
Moradu was apparently raised by this thing 2 days ago.
It's close to the end of the day.
Yeah, it's past midday
okay.
for sure. It's
Okay.
late afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not super late, right?
Okay.
No.
Yeah. That makes sense.
She looks to you and says, "There's much preparation to be made for tonight. I will leave you. Please, you are able to use this hut as yours, and it's the one that you stayed in previously." And she says, "If you need anything at all, please just ask one of the members of the village, and we will get whatever we can for you. You are guests of honor, and we will let you know when the meal is prepared." And she kind of bows a little bit, and she walks away.
Are we just gonna set up in like one of the empty huts or something?
The one we stayed in last time.
Assuming we all go there, I'm just gonna say, are you guys okay with us giving away this pink pearl that we recovered?
I believe so. Hold on. Let me check the notes that were given to us.
It could be. It would be useful to them, perhaps.
We just brought them 3 people from a village. Like, we've done a lot for them already. They should be giving us pearls.
Let's.
What do you guys think?
Byron, let me. I'm trying to decide how to phrase this for you. Let's not be greedy assholes.
What's greedy about saving a bunch of people and not asking anything in return except for a feast and a dance?
We could have saved more.
What he said. And it's just one of the pearls. There are several other gemstones in there that are worth more.
Do I get one?
We will keep.
We got a lot. Byron, we got a lot more than that.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
All I saw was a bunch of dirt and dirty rags, and I got this sweet paw, and I'll grab the bloody paw, and I'll like hold it up, and like some slime will drip out of it. Like, check this out, guys.
I'm going to give you something to give you an idea. And he, Rhunar, do you have the opal?
Yeah.
Opal.
Do you see this gemstone right here?
Yeah.
I believe in the right marketplace, that is worth more than a custom suit of plated armor.
I don't wear plate, dude. You know? Have you ever seen someone sneak around in plate?
It's expensive.
Yes,
That's the
loud.
point. It costs a lot of money. This opal is a great deal of money. We will keep that one. Definitely.
I like money. Okay. All right. I accept. Do I get that one then?
What we recovered will keep the boat running for a while.
Oh yes. Now we're talking.
Like 2 days.
No, like weeks.
Like a week and a half, and we can run aground again if we need to.
In some time.
I think I have
What's
it.
that, Michael? What'd you say, Michael?
It's very good because we have not been paid in some time.
Yeah, the daily payroll on the boat is 23 gold per day. So we recovered many. I don't want to do that math right now.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll leave it up to the captain, and I'll just walk out of the hut and start patrolling.
Yeah, let's maybe, especially Byron, maybe some of your skill could be at wood. Would be we could perhaps build some defenses, shore up fences specifically, or help. We could help these people out some more.
It'll take some time.
I mean,
if we all work together, we could probably do that. Yeah. At least some.
It's just an idea. It might be a little less easy for a wandering band of pirate gnolls.
Which was still very strange.
Yeah.
Were you thinking like a palisade around the whole entire fort build, or just one building in specific?
I mean, maybe a palisade. Maybe a palisade is an extreme example, but I'm sure there's something that we could find to make some defenses, perhaps, or maybe even just, I don't know, fix up some houses, maybe. Whatever we think we could do in an afternoon.
Yeah, I'll walk around and inspect houses and patch them up. Maybe um, put some locks on the doors, or put doors on them in general.
Yes.
All right.
And thus,
So
Something like that.
doors were
yeah.
invented in
Yeah.
the town.
Came up with them entirely on my own.
Yep.
Mm.
I like it.
A stranger brought doors to our community.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
I might.
All right. So you've got carpenter's tools proficiency, right?
Yep.
So why don't you go ahead and make a roll on carpenter's tools and roll it with an intelligence focus.
And I might go around kind of with him and leverage the mending spell here and there to help shore up things or make things that are busted fixed.
Roll it with advantage then. So go ahead and do another
okay.
roll and tell me what you got with Tenoch's help.
I got a 21.
Yeah.
Wow, nice. Okay.
With Tenoch's help.
I like it. So, in this village, there are approximately 5 structures. It's a small village, and they are in various levels of upkeep. But you definitely pick out amongst them as you survey each one and walk around and look at and watch and give advice to some of the folks that are working on the structures and cleaning up around this once kind of blood-stained area. You do find spots where you can help them out quite a bit, actually, whether it is identifying spots where there's weaknesses in the posts. If you recall, these huts sit up on top of footings, timbers that hold them up about 3 to 5 feet, depending on where they are in the clearing, to protect them from the occasional flooding that might occur on the Biori River. And so you identify a few spots where perhaps there are some flaws or some weaknesses, and you not only do you help them shore up these structures, but you also learn a little bit, Byron, about their techniques. It's some of the techniques are different than you've seen before. It's just like a little nuance that you pick up on. And you find it interesting, and you kind of file it away. Maybe you journal about it a little bit, but you do gain a little bit of knowledge of how they utilize the resources, and you find it to be quite interesting and innovative.
Nice.
And Tenoch, you're able to help him with this as well. And at the same time, many of the people that you speak with are very interested in you as an individual, Tenoch, and they seem to be very open and kind with you, perhaps opening up to you a little bit sooner than they open up to Byron, but ultimately they take a liking to all of you, but they definitely they feel some sort of kinship, perhaps, whether it's real or perceived with you.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's not real. They're humans.
Yeah, so not actual kinship.
Not actually. Yeah, right. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I watched the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings Return of the King movie. We're all related to hobbits. There's a little bit of them in all of us.
Does that mean that we're halflings? So we're quarterlings?
Give or take.
Okay. Not bad.
All right.
All right. Cool. Is there anything else the two of you are doing while you're doing this? Is there anything you want to try to talk to them about or anything like that? Give that some thought. Rhunar and Theo, what are the two of you doing during the evening portion before the meal?
Who was it that found the tracks to the creature by the river? Was that Byron?
That was me.
But you pulled Theo into a
I
tracking.
Dragged Theo out to it with me. Yeah.
Did we ever share it with show it to the villagers? Do you remember?
I don't think we showed it to them. I don't think we did. No.
Kirk, do me a favor and angle your camera up slightly. There you go.
Sorry, I was cracking the beer open for Hannah.
I was going to
Hi,
suggest
Hannah.
we ask them if they found any more track, but if they don't know what to look for, I doubt they did.
Theo is just he's just gonna hang out and patrol things. Like since Byron isn't doing, he's like, okay, I'll take a look just in case. We've taken care of one problem, but there's no way there's not a million other things in the jungle trying to kill us.
Sure. Roll a perception check for me, Theo.
Oh,
Big
nice.
21 actually.
Ooh, very nice. As you're walking along the shoreline, you notice, first of all, that the tracks that you'd seen, I guess it would be the night prior. So they are faded in the mud, as if the river had swollen slightly, perhaps from rains in other parts of the watershed that caused the water levels to rise, and maybe the tracks were washed away slightly. You do see, let's see, roll a d6 for me.
6.
Ooh, very nice. You see 6 fish. It might be fewer than 6, but at 6 points in your walk along the bank, you see fish breach the surface and make a ruckus as if they're feeding perhaps on insects that have landed on the surface of the water. You get the sense that there are, I mean, you're not a fisherman, but you're like, there's a lot of fish.
I mean, I'm a sailor. I talk to a lot of fishermen. Mostly go, don't drink water, fish fucking it. So I understand why the people are out here living here. Cause like, oh yeah, it's just a fish. It's probably relatively easy living. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, you don't detect anything that really gets you worried at this point. There are no fresh tracks of any creatures other than humans. There are some small animal tracks, but nothing that causes you any alarm like that. Certainly no crocodiles wading along the riverbanks.
That just means I need a new set of boots.
All right. Anything else that you guys wanted to accomplish before the meal portion?
If there's
Byron, go ahead.
if there's a little bit of downtime, I might actually take out that Book of Arcane Study, and I'll just flip through it a little bit. Kind of gauge a good starting point based on my own experience with studying, and maybe not dive deep into it, but just get an idea where I want to start.
Okay. Given the role that you made with the carpenter's tools and how well that went, you scrape out a little bit of time where you can sit by yourself and read a little bit.
Sweet.
And do this. Roll an intelligence check for me.
Oh no.
What is it?
Oh no.
I got a
Natural
1.
Okay.
This always happens.
It's, let's put it this way. It's been a long day and, you're a little tired. Your eyes, start to flicker a little bit as you're reading. You make it through, about 1 or 2 pages. You find yourself rereading the same passage over and over again. But you get the sense that passage, albeit a short segment of this large tome, you're starting to understand a little bit how the book is written and the thought process that went into the book, but you just can't really get very far because you're just exhausted.
Okay.
Tenoch.
Yeah, I think, while we're working, I'll probably, people are interested in opening up and chatting. I'd return such banter, and maybe, ask friendly questions, get to know people, listen to stories, ask those kinds of questions about, people's individual stories. Maybe a little bit about the old faith, which is their kind of shtick, right? Find out a little bit of like what a little bit more what's that about.
Okay. Yeah, roll a persuasion check for me.
All right, persuasion.
As you're engaging these people, you're using your conversational and persuasive skills to elicit, storytelling and sharing of fairly personal information.
So, being as I'm, helping to fix their village up, like maybe that provides advantage.
I'll allow it.
All right, good, because that 5 was pretty paltry. There we go, 20. That's better.
Ooh, very nice. All right, yeah, you learn some stuff. You learn that the people of this island adhere to the ceremonial teachings, the nature-based ceremony, and they revere what's called the Tuatha de Biori, which is the folk of the goddess Biori, is what that means. It is a very focused, nature-based set of beliefs that revolve around a pantheon of gods, the ruler of which is a god known as the Dozen King. And they revere these and believe that these deities are different aspects of nature, things that you've dabbled in your own belief system. You find some similarities, if not outright congruence with the stories they tell you. But it is the old faith and this belief is inextricably linked and intertwined into their whole culture, everything about them. The idea that the gods themselves are part of the elements of nature around them, and that those elements of nature have their own stories and their own wisdom to share beyond that of the sort of, I guess, the humanoid-centric sort of belief of humanoids sort of at that apex of the ecosystem, if you will, that you've encountered in the larger cities that you've been in. Certainly with the manipulation of magic in some places and the economics that are somewhat extractive for some of these larger cities that you've visited in your journeys from the Andari region of the Amadio. So you pick up on that quite a bit. There is, you learn more about Adama Elusi, who is the Hierophant of Biori, also referred to as the Great Druid, and that she is the Grand Druid of this area and of this island. This island is very much an important spot in the Old Faith belief system. So there's this island is very special in this belief system. And they tell you stories and they give you sort of these proverbial sort of teachings that they've learned growing up. And they seem to be pretty knowledgeable, although you do pick up on the fact that the village of Moradu is actually sort of a spiritual center, or was a spiritual center, based on the information that Rolstaff gave you about its demise. So you learn that.
Cool.
And the night draws into the landscape. The sun drops below the horizon, and the Nimue approaches you at some point, invites you to the fires that they have lit, and there is some percussion music being played, some drums. There are kind of like some tambourine-like instruments that are being played. Let's see. I think I have something for that. There's an app for that. You know what? I'm going to go with...
Right.
Yep. So there's music being played. There's some dancing. And the food starts to be brought around, and it is meat, and it is fresh fruit. The meat has been roasted on the open fire. It's absolutely delicious. There's some sort of a broth. Definitely more than what was served to you on the previous night. And people seem to be relatively in good spirits, despite the fact that they've lost so much. They have this sort of tenacious belief in, you know, moving on and sort of the cycle of life. So they're very excited, jolly. Some of them break out what appears to be some sort of fermented drink that they pass around, and you can partake if you would like.
Hell and yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna go up to Namui and give her the pearl.
What
I'm
is
just gonna
this?
say, when we fought the Knoll camp, we found some treasure. We wanted you to have some. You can get a lot of supplies for this in Cyber if you sell it.
This is so generous of you. You have already done so much for our community. Thank you. She takes it and she kind of pulls out a piece of cloth that she had, and she kind of polishes it and wipes it down a little bit and looks at it. It's beautiful. Where do you think it came from? What is it? I've never seen anything like this before.
It's the pink pearl. She hasn't seen a pearl before.
Not of this. This one is very beautiful. It's got this very strange and uncommon pink hue to it, and almost like like a crystalline structure kind of pinkness to it.
Ooh.
Yes, I don't know where it came from, but
Well,
it should be valuable and it should help the village.
yes, indeed it will.
Can't bring everybody back, but at least it can keep you all fed and supplied.
Thank you. Thank you for this. Please have more to eat, to drink. The dancing will begin shortly. Yes. Is there anything else that we can do for you, Captain Deg?
No, you've done more than enough.
Thank you.
Let's drink.
Yes, and she drinks with you, and then she kind of goes back to working, and she's also kind of working the crowd as much as she is helping with the meal and the ceremony. She's talking to all of the people, welcoming them back. You see her talking to Rolstaff for quite some time, and they seem to be in some sort of a discussion, and she kind of pulls him aside, and they have a side conversation that you notice, and then
She's doing
she kind of goes
sheep
back
and stuff.
to yep, and then she goes back to her duties.
I just had a thought. I don't remember if we covered. Did we bring back the bodies
Of the dead villagers.
No,
yeah,
they were
what did we-
burned. They were
We
burned.
burned them. Okay.
Yep.
Would
I
the
didn't
survivors
quite
have
remember.
known them though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they were the ones that
Okay.
burned them. They were the
Okay.
ones that prepared them for the burning, the pyre, if you will.
Now I remember now. Now that
Well, we didn't actually do it. I just made that up, but we did it.
I
We did
feel
it.
like we
Makes sense.
talked
No.
about that. Maybe
Seems
it
like
was
something we would have done.
Yeah, you guys totally
Yep.
did that.
Yep.
So yeah, that has been taken care of.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Eat, drink, have a good time,
Be merry.
play
Yeah,
some
you see-
drums.
Dan Virius is getting into it, and he's having conversations with some of the other villagers, and it appears as though he may have even found someone who's taken a little bit of a fancy to him, as he is relatively charismatic. Let's see, how charismatic is he actually?
Byron,
He's
make a
not, he's
Christmas-
not that charismatic actually, but
Isn't that
he's
a Theo?
Byron, make a
okay. Yeah,
Christmas save.
he's doing okay. Yes. And the drink is plentiful. The food is plentiful. You eat to your liking as much as you would like. You have plenty to drink. There at some point the music sort of gets more spirited, and the beat gets a little bit faster, and the people get up and start dancing. And it starts out as a little bit of a ceremonial production, as they have almost like dance moves that they work, and you can tell Tenoch. And Tenoch, you know this for a fact. The others may or may not pick up on it, but they are telling stories with the dance
Yeah.
that they are producing for you. And then at one point, some of the villagers come over to you first, Tenoch, and reach out a hand to you to encourage you to join them.
Oh,
Hi, Vamp Wickman.
Oh, Vamp's here.
Vamp's here.
Yeah,
they reach
I
out a
will,
hand and
Yeah, I'll get my booty shaken on.
all right. So you get up and you start dancing a little bit, and similarly, villagers come to the rest of you, the three of you, Rhunar, Byron, and Theo, and ask, reach out, asking you, join us, join us.
Theo will dance. I have no idea if he knows how to dance, but he will try.
Yeah. Rhunar will stumble around. No, he's
Byron,
pretty
All right.
dexterous. I think he can
will
dance.
kindly say, no, it's okay. I'll watch. And he'll eat. He won't drink anything. Byron's not drinking anything.
Okay. You see in the young man's face who is trying to encourage you to dance, Byron. You see him a little bit disappointed, but he bows to you and goes back to dancing with the others. Let's see. Roll a. Let's have everybody who's dancing roll a dexterity save.
Dave?
Yeah. Why not?
All right.
Just for fun.
Look, dancing is magic for which you have to learn to groove with.
21.
Yeah.
19.
Nice.
13.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So,
give myself a 13.
Okay.
It's what-
What did you roll?
I suppose
I
we
rolled,
didn't do
I
much
rolled a
today.
7 total,
Okay.
but I'll give myself a 13, which will give me a total of 16.
Nice.
Tenoch will not be made to look like a poor dancer, not in
I
front
feel
of these
like-
No.
people.
I feel like this is the kind of dance that like Tenoch knows about. So, like if we were, at the dance hall in Monmurg, it'd be different.
Right.
Like I imagine that with that role, Theo has figured out how to move to the beat, but he's still kind of occasionally trying to, as you noted, do like dance hall, medieval era stuff, and he gets halfway through and then just, oh yeah, not doing that, and gracefully does something else for another minute, and then gets back into. So it looks kind of good, even though it's just him kind of falling forward repeatedly.
And you see the villagers kind of getting around you and sort of clapping, and they're kind of watching Theo closely as he's doing his thing. And then, they grab you. One of them grabs you, Theo, by the hands, and they kind of swing you around. And it goes on and on, this celebration of life and survival. And you guys are enjoying yourselves, except for Byron, who's kind of being a stick in the mud over on the side. Byron, what are you doing while all of this stuff is happening?
Real gloomy Gus over there.
He's enjoying the food. He's enjoying the dancing that other people are doing. But mostly he's glancing over at Danvarius every now and again and checking the perimeter every now and again. And then eating a little bit and then checking on Danvarius again. Making sure nothing shifty's going on.
Okay. You can see over with Danvarius that he is dancing and he is intoxicated. He is having a really good time with the folks that he's dancing with. And he's very much getting into the swing of this festivity. At one point, a man sits down next to you. Mind if I join you then?
Sure.
And you look over, and it is Rolstaff. And he says,
Roll stuff.
Not one for the festivities, huh?
I have a lot on my mind. This beast that we hunt and other matters.
Yes. Well, what do you intend for the morrow? Do you intend to track the beast to Maradu?
If that's what the captains wants, we'll hunt it down. But I don't know.
Yes, well, it will be dangerous. But by the looks of your crew and yourself, what you've done already for these people, I only wish that you had been here sooner to save my village.
Trust me when I say I wish we had been here sooner as well. Much sooner. I'm sorry for your loss. Your people will live on in you.
Yes.
This celebration is as much a celebration of you having made it this far.
It's a good way to look at it. Well, I wish you luck with whatever you decide.
Thank you. Perhaps you could, I don't know, sketch me a crude map to get us at least most of the way to Maradu while we sit here. Unless you wish to dance more, I won't. I don't wish to pull you away from that.
I'm not one for dancing, really, but do you have parchment?
I'm almost positive I do. I have an ink pen. I have some blank paper, yes. I'll hand him some blank paper and an ink pen.
Thank you, yes. And he starts to sketch, to the best of his ability, a roughed out map. And as he does, he's describing features of the river, small rapids, and he kind of identifies them. It's a pretty crude drawing, but he does mark on the map where the river branches, which way that you'll need to go. And then he gets to an upriver spot. He said, right here, this is about a day's journey from Lambakaya. The full journey will take you shy of 2 days, but there is a campsite here. It is called the Pinyara Ruins Portage. You will have to carry the boat up over a underground flowage that comes out on the other side of a strange geological feature. It's a rise in the landscape, but it is a small portage. Nothing that you and your friends can't handle. And just out of curiosity, we lost Andy a little bit ago.
Yep.
Yeah, his video. He was having trouble
I'm
with
still
video.
here, but my video went down. I'm working on it.
All right, keep working. And he sketches out this map and he points it out. And then farther up, he says, here's where the village is roughly located. And he puts an X on the map. And he says, yes, and you'll want to pull up onto the shore here on the western shore. Yes, to go much farther, you risk being caught in the Maradu Falls. They drop down to a pool, beautiful pool once, but you will not want to go over the falls.
Right. What are there any like landmarks between us and there that we need to worry about? Besides the porridge, obviously.
I mean, if that creature is still there, that could be dangerous for you all.
There are no like.
The main village is on the western side of the river. There is a set of standing stones to the east. Above the falls, there is a bridge, or was a bridge, that will get you across to the standing stones. Those are the standing stones of the Dozen King.
There are no like monster pits that I need to worry about.
None that I'm aware of. And I would know, I've lived there my whole life. But these are strange times. I fear that the great Druid has entered a long sleep and closed her eyes to us.
Rostolf, your information is deeply appreciated. Rostolf? Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Rolstaff.
Rostolf. Go enjoy the festivities some more. I will sit here and keep us safe.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. And he goes back and gets another mug of whatever it is that you're drinking, the local fermented drink. Anybody else have anything that they want to accomplish during this time?
Just having a good time.
Yeah, I'd probably take a break dancing at some point and maybe do some drumming with them. Switch sides as a drummer.
Yeah, as the night grows later and later, you get involved with the music making, and you're at this point everybody is so friendly and inebriated that they welcome you in, and one of the villagers gets up from her drum and lets you sit at her drum.
Oh, sweet.
And you just kind of jump right in. There's a bit of a old school drum circle going on.
Haven't seen one of those since my third sophomore year.
Yup, exactly.
Wait, you were in sophomore year 3 times?
Technically, that's a joke from the film PCU, but I did technically have a third sophomore year. I can explain later.
That's man, I haven't watched that movie in a long time. Anyway.
The Lore of Michael. That's a whole different podcast.
It's weird. We're going to get to it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Have a good time. Do some drumming. Oh, sweet. Andy's back.
Andy's back, everybody. Woo! Yeah.
Hooray,
Captain has returned. All right, cool.
Camera crash.
That's all right. Okay, so anything else you guys want to do before the night ends? You're drumming, you've talked, you've gotten some information. You're kind of tipsy at this point, and at some point in the evening, you make your way back to your hut, and you bed down for the night.
We do.
I'll take first watch.
What else happens that night, Byron?
Byron, you're going to take the watch?
I'll take the first watch, yep.
Okay.
I'll take
go
watch
ahead
tonight, Byron, if you want to wake me up later.
I'll wake you up after you get some rest. You're drunk. Go to sleep,
Oh.
Rhunar.
No, I'm not.
Go home, Captain. You're drunk.
All right, so Kirk, roll a perception check for me.
I'm gonna have the hood and the shield and the sword out the whole time.
Okay.
It's a mighty combo. Wow.
Got a 10 on
Wow.
perception.
That's impressive.
A 10, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
You rolled a 5 and a 6.
Okay.
Rough.
Advantage
So-
can't always save you.
You know, there's some of the folks have fallen asleep by the fire as it burns down, and it starts to burn out. And you kind of stoop down, kneel down, and throw a little bit more fuel on the fire to keep it going for them. They're snoring. You walk past a hut where you heard Danverius, or you watched Danverius kind of retire to with someone, and you listen, but you don't hear anything. You walk down by the shoreline, and you hear frogs croaking. You hear the whippoorwill of some kind calling in the distance. But the water is just glassy smooth. You can just barely make out the flow as it flows from east to west, which you are pretty much aware of is the direction to Cyber and downriver
Right.
to the estuary. Nothing untoward happens during your watch. So
Right
for
on.
a couple hours, you have the night to yourself. It is quiet, just the faint flicker and crackle of the fire.
As it gets dark, as it gets later and later, I'll head back to the hut that everyone's sleeping in, and I'll just peek inside, see if everyone's, people look like they're resting really well. And if they look really comfortable and peaceful, I'll just go to sleep.
So you check in on your friends to see
Yep,
how
I'll
they're
check on
sleeping.
everyone. Yep.
All right. How does everybody sleep after they've had a big feast and much to drink?
Like the dead, but with more snoring.
Mm-hmm.
I sleep great.
Okay. Rhunar, how do you sleep?
Good.
Rhunar,
Having some dreams, maybe.
yeah, you actually do. You have some very strange dreams of yourself sitting at a table and you're counting coins and you're putting them in stacks of 23. 23. You're just like 23 coins, 23 gold, 23 gold, and you're making these stacks. And so by some point in your dream, you're sort of barricaded by stacks of coins that total 23 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear Byron walk into the room, and before you kind of are roused from your dream, all the coins fall onto the ground and you feel really bummed.
23. What does that mean?
And then you just kind of, you see Byron for a moment, and then you just kind of turn over and go back to sleep. Byron, that's what you see.
I went to sleep. I'm going to sleep now.
Okay. All right.
I'm not going to wake anyone either.
Okay. Let's see. Tenoch, roll a d20 for me.
Yes, sir. Dun, 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 dun. 16.
Okay.
That's the number of the beast.
Which beast?
Well, the big one.
Maybe
A
we'll find
burden.
out. Maybe we'll find out.
The biggest one.
An aberration.
I was thinking of a rock.
Oh.
We can't stop here. It's rock country.
No rocks.
Is that one of those spilling chickens?
Forest chickens have descended upon the village. Actually, you do wake up and you hear forest chickens. You hear people moving about. The sun is kind of beating down on you guys from a crack in the windows of this structure, this hut that you're sleeping in, and it's hot. And you're kind of sticky and sweaty, very dehydrated, and you're not like, you don't have headaches, and you're not sick, but it's hot. You're dehydrated, and you're maybe just a tad hungover as you wake up. The village there are people moving about. The day has begun maybe an hour or two ago for most people. Mm-hmm.
I'll go find some water. Perhaps a large thing of it.
Mm-hmm. They have buckets of water near a spring, so they bring the water in from a spring that's off in the trees.
And then I will bring it back.
Imported spring water.
I will bring it back to the hut.
It's artisan.
And then give my fellows a bath. Hiya!
Whoosh, water splashes across you, Rhunar and Theo.
Theo definitely wakes up in the hoist the mainsails. Wait,
Sweet. That's a good one.
I'm only so drunk, and this isn't a boat. Why did I get splashed?
The forest chickens.
All those forest
Oh,
chickens,
of
just
course,
shut up.
it's the forest chickens and not the muscle-bound halfling who I would otherwise make a short joke about.
You can do that, right, Tenoch?
Do what?
Tell the forest chickens to shut up.
I can. I can't guarantee that they'll listen to me.
He is a reader of omens, not a druid, probably. Are you a druid?
Not today.
Okay, good. If you end up a druid in the future, let me know. I have questions.
We do have plans to make this morning.
Yeah, we should find some breakfast. It's we're burning daylight, as they say.
Yes, we are. Let's go. Hey, what happened to Danvarius? He's not here. Byron, and she looks over at the sleeping Byron.
He's sleeping in that tent over there, in that hut on the other side.
Is he sleeping or just asleep?
He's sleeping. I wouldn't do anything. Why would you think I would do something to Danvarius?
Have you met you?
You guys
Touche.
eventually spill out onto the clearing, the village clearing. You actually see Danverius is sitting there talking with some of the older gentlemen of the village. He's been up, and he sees you and he waves. It's about time, yeah. We've got a big day ahead of us.
We're sorry, the man in charge of watches and waking us up, as usual, failed at both. So, you know.
Well, I suppose I could have woken you up, yeah, but yeah, everybody needs a little extra rest, especially after the battle we had. So good on you. Things are pretty much ready to go. We've got some food packaged up from the folks here. They gave us a little bit of provision, and yeah.
We could
Yeah,
ask for
let's-
nothing more. Let's
Let's grab
there's no
some
sails.
breakfast.
Everything I know nautically involves sails, so I don't know what to say about this boat here. Okay, I guess we'll eat first. Okay, fine.
It's a good idea.
We should discuss what we want to do today.
We need to go to Maradu. We need to hunt the beasts.
How long does it take to get to Muradu, do we know?
About half to 3/4 of a day.
If only we
Is
knew
that-
where it was and had a map.
I have a map. I talked to
Would it?
Rolstaff.
Roll staff.
Yeah, Rolstaff. And he hooked me up with a map.
I take back everything I just said bad about you for letting us sleep.
Well,
It's just
the other
shy
op-
of 2 days. It's just shy of 2 days.
Oh, just
and
shy of 2 days.
The 1 day portion was to the campsite at the Pinyara Ruins Portage.
Yep. Portage or porridge.
First one, then the other.
And which direction is it from here?
Upriver.
Upriver.
Like northeast? I mean, I kind of know where the grove is. Like, is it towards the grove?
Yeah, I was gonna say, couldn't we also go look for the druid?
Yep.
Do we know how to get to the grove?
Because we were told the druid would know where to find the creature at one point, weren't we?
Well, so when I talked to Rolstaff, he told me that oh my god.
Maradu.
His name Maradu. Maradu is like a spiritual center of their religion, and that perhaps we could find more evidence of the druid there. I don't know necessarily. He didn't mention the druid specifically, but he did say that it was like a mecca.
It might be a good place to start. I have a good idea where she is.
And out of
do you
character,
look-
it sounds like you can't go further inland from that point on the river.
Right.
No, you'd have to
Do
go down the
you-
falls. We could carry our boat down to the bottom and maybe go further, but
Tenoch, do you look at the map?
I'll look at the map.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah,
hand it to him.
when you look at the map, you can see that based on your read of the map that the path before you to get to the portage and then beyond to Maradu is roughly in that same direction.
Sweet.
Yep.
Yeah, let's
All right.
do it.
How's the boat doing?
I checked all the huts instead of the boat. Do you want me to check out the boat before we go?
We should do our pre-flight checklist. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
all
should
right.
probably check it out.
Yeah, fellas,
You guys
the
drank
boat
so
the
much
boat's
last
looking great. Did the pre-flight inspection this morning while you were taking your beauty sleep rest. So yeah, she's in tip-top shape, as they say, right? You guys are sailors. I don't know.
Well, I'll take another look at it.
Yeah, suit
All right.
yourself, mate.
We should get ready to roll then.
I've been waiting on you, he says, eating a papaya.
As you are finishing breakfast, Nimue comes to you and she says, "So I've been told that you intend to head upriver to Moradu to further seek out this creature.
That's
I
right.
wish you luck, and I beg you take heed. The path ahead may be very dangerous. Given the fate of Maradu, there are other dangers in the glades. The ladies of the Elder Grove may be about. They are hard to predict, but you must be wary.
I absolutely expect everything is going to try and kill us. Frankly, running into you all was a very nice surprise, which we deeply appreciate.
Yes. Well, do you have any other questions before you take your leave?
Would the ladies of the Elder Grove ever go as far as into the village of Maradu?
Depends on what their motivations are. They have been known to take children, as is their desire for dark magics that they may have. They have not visited our village in quite some time, not in my time. There are many stories. There is stories of warning that parents tell their children not to stray too far from the village, to be careful of strangers in the wood.
Is there a territory marked?
That is not something I am aware of. I do not know.
Various, how old are you?
Yeah, mate, that's a bit personal question.
You just look so young, but you could be like an elf and could actually be 200 years old.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
You know, yeah, I mean, I take good care of myself, work out a bit and drink a lot of water. I think that's, the key to life is staying well hydrated.
You're not a child anymore, though, right?
Yeah.
A hag is not going to try and steal you in the night to bathe in your blood.
God,
We don't. Oh, okay.
Crikey.
Thank goodness.
Hell no.
All right. I think we'll be good then, because I think we're all pretty old here.
Yeah, some of us act like children sometimes, but yeah, we're all of age. Right, mate? And he pats you on the back, Byron.
Words can hurt, Danvarius. Get in the boat.
Oh, I jest. It's just a bit of fun at your expense,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yep.
Very good then.
I turn to Nimue and say thank you for your words of caution. We'll be vigilant.
Yes. Please do. And we hope you will stop here on your return trip to Cyber. You will be welcome at any time.
Is there anything you want from Maradu or anything that we can pick up while we're out there for you?
Well, she looks at you. She looks at you, Byron, and she says, Maradu, as you know, was and could be again, I don't know what the status is, but a spiritual center for our worship. It is different from what we have here. We mostly subsist off of fish and fruits, wild grown. Maradu had a bit more of an agrarian component to it, and they do have some small fields around the perimeter of the village where they grow various herbs, and there is one, if you could find it for us, it would be important. If this herb has survived what has happened to the village, we would welcome you bringing back leaves from the Zelbere blossom, or even better, to bring back the herb itself, preserved somehow to protect the roots so that we could plant it here and perhaps propagate it ourselves. I do not know if Maradu will be resettleable, but that would be important to us. It is an herb that we use in some of our religious ceremonies.
We will do the best that we can, and I will hand her the map, and then I'll flip it over on its back on accident. I'll be like, oh, sorry, and I'll flip it over so it's the back of the map, and I'll be like, can you just draw what it looks like for me?
Yes, of course. I will do my best. And she starts drawing, and she says it's a small growing plant with red leaves serrated like this. And you watch as she kind of draws the leaf. Dull red coloration on the underside of the leaf. And the way she draws the leaves, they almost look like, they resemble lips. It's kind of weird. But the leaves kind of curl back in on themselves a little bit. And she does a pretty good job of drawing. She's not a skilled artist or anything, but she draws them. And Rolstoff is with you as you're getting ready. He's kind of surveying the boat and kind of looking over your gear and stuff. And he says, "Yeah, the fields are on the western edge of the village."
Okay,
And
the side we'll be docking on.
He points them out on the map, and they're farther away from. They're like, there's the river, there's the village, and then there's the fields on the opposite side of the village from the river.
Okay.
And she Nimue looks over at you, Tenoch, and says, "Do you know this plant? Do you know this? There's much wisdom in this plant."
Uh,
Roll a nature check.
Yeah, I don't know if is it a plant that we would have? Maybe. Science works that way. It could be. How about a 16?
You definitely don't recognize the name that she calls the plant, but the distinctive leaf shape is something that you recognize.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, you definitely recognize that. You think you're familiar with this, and I don't off the top of my head have a name that you would call it, but I will get that for you. But you recognize it, and you also know that it is something that is very important in ceremonies for spiritual quest. It has psychoactive properties, and many of the shaman types, perhaps the druids of certain groups of people, would utilize that for ways of seeking deep knowledge.
Interesting.
Very wise plant.
Yes, this is something my people use. It's say some word in my native language that is essentially big magic. It's very strong. And I say, yes, it's similar to my methods in some ways.
Well, you will know when you see it then. That is good. Other than that, Master Hern, I see nothing else that we need. If there are survivors, please bring them back to us.
Of course.
And Ralston kind of, he kind of scoffs at the idea of survivors, but she kind of gives him a side glance, and then she goes back and says, "I wish you all the luck. Travel well and be safe." And you guys load up into the boat, and Danverius is the last one to get in, and he gives it a good shove off from the dock. And as you paddle deeper into the Gloomhaven glades, away from the small village of Lambakaya on the riverside of the Biori River, the people wave to you a farewell, and you see them looking upon your departure with a sense of sort of adoration and appreciation, and perhaps a hint of friendship. And I think what we'll do is we're going to take a break.
I could really use some food.
Yep, we're going to do a quick break, so we'll be back here in 15 minutes. So we'll see everybody there. Thanks everybody who's hanging out with us. Vamp Wickman, Valkyrie Bait, Kai Wisdom. Who else is here with us? Gosh, Kyle,
Nightbot.
Jokey, Nightbot is here. Nightbot's always here. What a guy.
Yep,
We
we
love
got
Nightbot.
Obocop,
Heck-
Sultriest, we got Community Showcase, Commander Root, Carbob, 14XYZ. We got Christian, our
Yep, Zuck is here.
sponsor.
Yep,
Dungeons, Dragons,
Sponsor?
with a U,
That's
Diva.
not the right word.
heck yeah. Jokey Minneapolis is in the house. Sultriest.
What up?
Hey, thanks for everybody for being here. We appreciate it. We'll be back in 15 minutes. We'll see you
Psych.
then. Oh boy, we're back, everybody. We're back.
Huzzah.
Hi. Huzzah.
Hello.
I
Welcome
have
back,
consumed
friends.
meat and potatoes.
What did you have?
Well, I used my Instapot yesterday and made some pork butt.
Ooh.
And then once that was done, pulled it out, and then put a bunch of little potatoes and corn on the cob in there and cooked those. All very garlicky and Old Bay seasoning-y.
Ooh.
It is perhaps one of the top 10 things that I've made. It's really good. It's really good.
Anything involving pork butt's amazing.
Yeah, it turns
I like me
out
some pork butt.
brown sugar salted pork butt with a packet of Birani seasoning and apple cider vinegar is amazing. And by Birani seasoning, I mean like a dried curry leaf, cinnamon sticks, clove, cardamom pod. It's so good. Anyway,
God, my mouth is watering. You know what? Let's just cancel the rest of the stream. I'm gonna go have some dinner.
come on over to my house. We'll eat
Get
some
some
dinner.
barbecue, yo.
Oh,
Been good, guys.
remember the good old days, Chad, when when we'd play, you would cook these huge meals for us, and it would just be like spread out on the table on one side of the DM screen. There'd be this vast cornucopia of meats and fruits, and did that ever really happen?
That's actually how I started playing D&D. Our weekly game back in the day, we would have a meal. We would cook a meal together while we played D&D. It was glorious. But that was yesteryear. This is this year,
Yeah.
where we play online because
Yes,
we have
we
friends
do.
we have friends all over this wonderful country of ours.
And one of our friends just cheered us all an advantage.
What?
So we all have one advantage thanks to Kai Zimzi. Kai Whimsy? Kai Whimsy.
Hear that man's out in Rochester.
You betcha.
Rochester.
Oh no.
Where the rocks are wild.
It's
Hundreds
hot
of
out
them.
there. It's hot out
Rochester,
there.
New York?
103 degrees. I have my ice pack.
Rochester,
No,
Minnesota.
You're pretty close to Andy now, upstate New York.
I'm in Minnesota. Get out of here.
I was trying to
Pennsylvania.
like keep the FBI
Upstate
off
New-
your case.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep
Oh
the
yeah.
FBI
No,
off your case.
I'm in Texas, guys.
Rochester.
Kirk,
Jeez.
that leads me to a question. Do we know how many advantages? Do we all just have one advantage right now?
I have
so
3.
I don't have the advantage sheet because that's on my
What-
other
what?
computer.
I have 3 now.
Okay.
I had 2
so you have
left
3
over.
now.
I had 2
And
left over and I have
I'm
1.
pretty sure Dave had. Or no, wait. Somebody else had at least
I think I
one.
used all mine. I think I used mine.
I burned through
You-
all of mine quick.
Then it was
Yeah.
Rhunar. Rhunar had at least one more.
What?
Nah,
From
I don't
No,
think
really?
so.
Was it?
No, you're
think I
Was
fine.
it
had
me then? Well, screw it. You
Yeah,
got.
we all have
3
one at
and
least.
I got
Tenoch's
one.
got, yeah.
And everyone
all
else
right,
has
there we
one.
go. Yeah. All right, cool. Thanks
Yeah,
for
no, I
that,
ran-
Kai Whimsy. We appreciate it. All right, guys. Doodle-doo, doodle-doo, doodle-doo. You have set out on your journey upriver, paddling against the gentle current of the Biori River as you make your way further inland on the Isle of Cyberit in search of some sort of aberrant creature that attacked a friend of yours, Tanika, in the small town, the port town of Cyber. You've come this far. It's been multiple days now. I don't recall how many. I had that written down at one point, but I believe this is the 4th day. It's been like 3 nights, 4th
Yeah.
day.
That sounds right.
Yes, you head up river paddling this small rowboat. Incidentally, that was designed by CZRPG. Don't forget to enter for our giveaway. But let's get a who's rowing right now?
Theo is rowing because I was miming that. So
Okay.
Fair.
I was miming, looking through my looking glass.
Okay, so Tenoch and Theo are rowing. Rhunar is bird watching or surveying the terrain ahead. Go ahead and either Tenoch or Theo, you guys can either each roll an athletics check, or one of you can roll with advantage.
I'm gonna give the Tenoch the advantage.
That's a safe bet.
That's bold.
23.
Our wizard.
That's
Wow.
why.
That's one tough wizard.
I have a shtick, much like Michael has a shtick. Ours are very similar. I just like to punch things, though.
Mm.
I like swords.
Okay.
and sort of masquerading as a necromancer from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It pays the bills.
Right. Rhunar, go ahead and
Side
roll a survival check with advantage because you have a map,
All right.
albeit a roughed out sketch of the river. It's still helpful.
19.
Yeah, very good.
Nice.
You guys make really good time. The paddling is, it's not easy because you're going against the flow of the river, but you are strong and you are fresh and rested. You have shaken off the cobwebs of drink and late night revelry, hydrating yourself with artisan spring water before leaving the village of Lambakaya, who apparently is now known for their spring water. And you follow the map very well. You paddle most of the day. There are a variety of wildlife that you encounter along the way, none of which are any sort of threat to you. There are wading birds that you see slowly creeping along the sides of the river banks, fishing, looking for food. There are birds calling from the trees. At one point, you see what appear to be some sort of a species of deer that have weighted down possibly a doe and 2 fawns that are drinking at the side of the river, and they just kind of watch you as you paddle by.
Do they have fangs?
Roll a perception check.
Always gotta watch out for those fanged deer.
No, these are just little dicks.
Demon deer.
11.
You look and you nudge Rhunar with his spyglass to scan over, and he looks at it, and you don't see anything weird about the deer. They appear to be pretty healthy. Well, like they've done well for themselves in this difficult place. You do, with a perception check, see a bit of motion in the water near them. They don't seem to notice it.
Okay.
I will throw a python at them.
Can
Okay.
I catch it? Can I stop him?
To scare them away.
Well,
I probably no. You know what?
let roll initiative.
I wouldn't. I'm rowing. I realize, as much as I might want to, I probably realistically wouldn't.
Yeah, you may not even notice him in the process of throwing the python. Byron, tell me what your intention is.
I'm just trying to scare him.
Okay, so you're not trying to hit him. You're trying to
No.
splash it in the water near them.
I'll throw that. I'll throw it. I mean, if I hit him, I hit him. I'm gonna
Okay.
throw him at him. Throw it at him.
All right, roll a ranged weapon attack without your proficiency bonus. Unless you're proficient in python.
I'm gonna roll a d20.
He's proficient in a lot of things.
He is. That's why I added that clarifier.
14.
Yeah, you
Plus
throw it
your-
where.
Plus your dex.
Oh, plus my dex.
Yep.
Yeah.
18.
A lot.
It lands right where you want it to land, in the water near them, splashing, and as it does, they spook and they don't even look at you. They just bolt deep into the jungle and disappear in a flash. And you keep paddling, and as you kind of look at that area, Byron, you see just like maybe something in the water that sort of splashes and swims away. And it looked big. It looked really big.
All right. Maybe that was a bad idea. Maybe not. I don't know.
You saved those little dicks from a fate of being ate by a crocodile. You did great.
Right.
Now,
I threw a python away, dude. I could have used that
saved-
to trap a
and
door.
now
I
it's gonna
could've-
come after us.
hungry
Mhm.
still.
Theo needs new boots.
As you paddle away, a
Ah,
python comes
right.
flying out of the water and lands back in the boat. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, what?
Oh man, I was so stoked.
It
Yeah,
was a
Byron, they
nymph. She was just trying to
The
hang out with
deer.
the deer, and you ruined
We might
it.
not want to call attention to ourselves right now.
We're
Don't understand why.
We're 5 dudes in a boat in the middle of a jungle. We're calling attention to ourselves.
Yeah.
Extra attention isn't necessarily good.
Yeah, good point, Tenoch. Good point.
Tenoch, are you saying there's such a thing as bad attention?
I'm saying I've seen a man disappear out of the back of a boat, and all you ever heard of was a splash.
I'll look
I
at
feel
Dan
like I
Barry
heard last week.
threatening.
Crocodiles are very nasty.
You're going to try to intimidate Dan Virius?
No, no. But when he said that, I'll look at Dan Virius.
All right. He looks back at you and raises an eyebrow. Yeah. Keep paddling then. You guys continue on, paddling upriver, and it starts to get a little bit dark. The sounds of the jungle kind of closing in as the river starts to get narrower and narrower. And now you're having to sort of paddle around little ledges and outcrops as you start to come into what appears to be almost like, not really a canyon, but definitely an area that is somewhat choked with vegetation The water itself at times is shallow. You dip a paddle and you hit either the floor of the river below you, or maybe debris, sunken logs and other things as you make your way forward, and you push on as the aquatic vegetation starts to choke. Reeds get thicker, and you have to kind of pick your path through some of these cattail-like stands. And again, there's sort of these rock ledges that get higher and higher around you. And you eventually come to what appears to be some sort of a beach area. And ahead of the beach, there is just brambles, and there is thick vegetation, and it almost looks like the river ends there. And on this beach, as you paddle up to it, you see that there is a clear path. You have arrived at what you believe to be the Pinyara Ruins Portage. And the darkness is sort of setting in. You hear in the distance a bit of thunder in the distance, as if maybe the monsoon weather is looming. Byron, you are muted.
You're muted AF, bro.
Is that?
Oh, there
How
you
long
go.
is the portage?
Oh, nice.
Do we know?
How long? How
I'll
many
double
rods?
check the map.
How many rods?
Hey, we just got raided, guys.
Woo!
Hey, Top Down
Raided?
Tabletop. Thanks, guys, for showing up. We appreciate it. Awesome. We're just about to portage like we do in the north woods of Minnesota when we're in the boundary waters.
But we're in the jungle.
But we're in Greyhawk.
The cyber boundary waters.
Yes, we are actually in the boundary
Cyber
waters
Island.
of Greyhawk. Cyber Island, yes.
Hot here.
Very hot. A lot of insects, and the night is kind of closing in. You've made it your way to the Pinyara Ruins Portage. What would you like to do?
Yeah, we'll beach the boat. Is this like a sandy beach?
It is.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like the two of us will pilot the boat right up onto the beach.
Should we make camp like we did before and tip the boat over and make a rain net out of our boat and chill underneath it?
We
That's not a
probably
bad
should,
idea.
because I don't know how long it's going to take us to get the boat up there.
Yeah, you look ahead, Theo, as you point, and you can see that there's a gradual rise. The trail kind of goes up, and you can't really see what's on top of the rise, but it seems to be an open area based on the canopy of the trees.
Although perhaps we should just scout up there to make sure that there's not a whole passel of three-headed tigers waiting for us.
Good call. Want me to stealth ahead? I can sneak up there and take a peek.
If you run into a pack of three-headed tigers,
Or I'll run
You're
away.
dead.
I'll
You're
skip.
dead.
I'll
Just
yeah.
lay down and die.
Warn me.
Always.
okay, you do that. We're gonna do the things with the boat.
Yeah, you guys do. Yeah, set it up.
Okay.
Right.
I'll pull up my hood and I'll take my shield out and I'll draw my rapier and I'll start sneaking through the woods, climbing up the path, see if there's anything at the top of the little slight inclines.
Okay. Go ahead, and you're going to stealth up. Go ahead and roll a stealth check for me.
Stealth it up. Nice. Nice, dude.
What'd you get?
29.
Whoa, 29. Is that even possible? Dang, man.
Rogues.
Awesome.
Hot
Yeah.
Damn.
No doubt. Rogues are the shit. Yeah, so you are feeling pretty stealthy as you make your way up this embankment. Now, you climb up the embankment, you see what appears to be a abandoned campsite. There is a ragged, somewhat soiled canvas tent that is flapping in the gentle breeze. And there are various items scattered about a cold fire ring.
This isn't something I'm typically good at, but I'll just see if I can make out tracks or if it looks like this camp was ransacked or attacked or anything like that. I'll see if I can see any evidence of kerfuffle.
How close are you gonna get?
I'll walk into the middle of the camp.
Okay, so you walk into the clearing. Are you still stealthing at this point?
Yeah, I'll be sneaky. I'll be moving slow.
Yep, and we'll just go with that same stealth roll. I just wanted to know how you were entering. Yeah, so you walk into the center, and it looks, you look around. The first thing that you think of is like, this is a camping area. This looks as though people have camped here for a long time. It is rather wide. It's probably a clearing that's about 35 to 40 feet width and maybe 20 to 25 height, length, if you will, area. So it's cleared out pretty well. On the southern edge of that clearing, that you're coming in from the north, and across on the other side of the clearing is this tent and the fire ring. So you have to walk across the clearing to get to the tent if you want to go inspect that area.
I'll probably steer clear of the tent for now, and wait until I have some backup, actually. But do I notice any tracks or anything like that?
Yeah, roll a survival check.
Uh, 16
Nice.
survival.
Yeah, you kind of drop down to a knee and you look around, and you can see that there are tracks. It looks as though the rains that have been looming this evening as you've been paddling. Again, you can hear sort of that distant thunder in the background. It looks as though there's been rainstorms that have hit this area, creating sort of a muddy substrate, and there are animal tracks all over the place that have sort of hardened as the landscape has dried. There are also what appear to be human-sized foot tracks that traverse this area. They look, because of the weather effect with the rain, they do not look to be super fresh, but it's sort of, you're sort of limited in your tracking knowledge. You're not really a specialist.
I was kind of just copying what see the other guys do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna think it's really fresh, and I'm gonna sneak back to camp.
Okay. So you rejoin your companions as they're hoisting the boat up onto the beached area, and Danverius is sort of pulling packs out of the boat and getting them sort of situated on shore.
Guys, there's a camp at the top of the hill, just covered in tracks. Like there could be stuff out there right now.
What kind of tracks?
I saw like humanoid tracks. I saw like animal tracks.
Well, this
Uh,
was this a heavily traveled? Are they old?
Yeah, I don't think so. They looked.
mean,
I mean, I saw them.
Is that a campsite for this portage?
I don't know. There's three everywhere. There's a tent already set up. I think we should. I think I don't want to check it out by myself.
You want to take Danverius?
I'll go check it out.
Well, me? Yeah.
No, let's go. We have
No,
You seem
Kristen,
pretty
because
knowledgeable.
we are
in
good
these
buddies.
Me and
things.
Danverius could go.
Yeah. Let's just all go.
Yeah, well, if you're
Okay.
gonna walk, guys, if you're gonna walk up there, grab a pack at least and carry it.
Danverius, aren't we paying you to be our guide?
How far is it?
It's probably, I would say, approximately 60 to 80 feet up the trail on top of this rise.
We are going to go investigate it in case it is trouble, so we're not taking anything with us that we'll have to drop in a fight.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, yeah, we're not going to do the portage tonight, right? Is it dark yet?
It's getting there.
I'm going to put my helmet on just in case.
I could bring the boat.
You want to bring the whole boat?
I mean, it's got to go up sometime, right? If we're gonna move up there.
Well,
We're
we should
not
definitely pull
planning
it
on moving.
ashore.
We're checking to see if there is something up there we need to be worried about.
Okay.
It's about this time as you're having this conversation at the edge of the water that you start to feel the first drops of rain.
We gotta hurry, guys.
Yeah, let's go. Come on.
Let's talking. We're going. Let's go.
All right, me and
All right.
Theo will move ahead while Tenoch picks up the boat and carries it. I guess I don't know.
Is there a party going on over there? What's happening, Kirk? Are you having a
Sorry, it's my
Are you
whole
partying
family.
with your parents?
Yeah, everyone's chilling.
nice?
I don't got a ton of space.
We should have had them take over some of the NPCs. Does
I thought
anybody want
about
to
guest streaming with them.
Yeah. That's funny. All right, so you and Theo are going to move ahead. Okay. And how are you
up there?
sneaking up? Go ahead and roll some stealth checks for me.
Well, holy shit, a
Nice.
22.
Is that a natural 20?
Nice.
It's a natural 20, which gets me a
Holy
22.
Toledo.
Womp,
Nice.
Womp, 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 womp.
Byron, what
Womp
do you
womp.
have? Can you beat that?
Let me try.
It's likely, but we'll see.
I only got a natural 20 for a 30.
Okay, hold on a second. What just happened?
Wow.
What just happened?
Byron and Theo disappear into the night.
Yeah, we do not see them. They totally
No.
disappear from sight.
We gotta show. Can you guys? Hopefully everybody
We're
can
in
see that. 2
sync.
natural 20s in a row here. That is pretty rad. Nice job, guys.
Wow.
All right, so yeah, the two of you stealth forward, and you are absolutely silent. You make your way to the edge of this clearing area. One of you on the left side of the path, one of you on the right side of the path, communicating silently with each other as you creep forward, looking forward. And Theo, you see what Byron saw before, this opening in the canopy that looks well-traveled. There is a ragged, soiled canvas tent on the southern end of the clearing. And as you move a little bit closer into the clearing, but still hiding along the vegetation edge, you see that there is a trail that heads east. And there is a set of broken stairs, stone stairs that head to the southeast.
I'm gonna move towards them.
Theo's gonna hold up a hand to stop you. And it's going to cast Mage Hand. And it's gonna have a Mage Hand just float over to the tent and slowly pull the tent down. Or pull on the canvas to pull it down.
So you're gonna pull the tent down to the ground so it's no longer standing, or are you gonna pull back the flap to look inside of it, or what are you doing?
The intent is just bring the whole thing down.
Okay, sure. Yeah, totally. You cast Mage Hand and your spectral hand floats eerily across the opening, grasping the canvas and pulling it down quite easily. The guy lines that have been holding it up are brittle and they easily snap under the pressure. And the tent is now laying in a heap on the ground.
But there's nothing in it.
Well, the tent, as you pulled it down, is now covering anything that might have been inside of it, but there is nothing that runs out of it. There is no movement. There is nothing that elicits a response. Correct.
It doesn't drape over a body-shaped thing.
Well, it might. Theo's just gonna drag it.
It's hard to
towards
tell
him.
from where you are.
Theo's gonna drag the canvas towards him enough to reveal if there was anything in there. So to kind of uncover it.
Sure. Sort of the big reveal as you pull on the canvas tent. And yes, there is what appears to be an old bedroll and random items that lay around the cold fire pit. So you are not close enough to see what those items are, but there are you can tell from where you are that there are items, camping gear, perhaps, other things, perhaps. You don't know.
Theo's gonna look to Byron because, well, there's nobody home. But
Look at all
there's
the
a
tracks, though.
lot of ways in and out of here. Yeah, I think this is a busy thoroughfare, so we should definitely sleep where we are.
Okay. Let's get Tenoch to do that thing we does that with the ropes.
Like the
Like
thing where he
and they
ties people
fly.
up?
Yeah, they fly up in the air.
Oh, yeah, that's something different. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's go back.
Oh, it's the same thing.
That's what worries me.
This snare is the ultimate kink, baby.
Oh, wow. I like it. That's hot. That's very, very hot.
So we'll sneak back down,
Oh.
and Theo's just
Wow.
gonna
I think we just scared away all of the top-down tabletop folks. If you're still here, hey, no, there's no kink shaming here, folks.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
So
No
you guys
shame.
make your way, you guys make your way back down to the beach where the boat is. Danvirus is kind of sitting there, just kind of waiting. Tenoch and Rhunar are there as well.
We learned three important things. One, there's no one up in the upper area waiting to ambush us. Two, there are multiple ways out of there, including along the river. There's some sort of trail to the east and some steps to the southeast. So I believe it is a well-traveled area up there. So we should probably stay down here. 3, Byron is into some interesting things, and we support him in this.
All right. Well. Okay, I guess we stay down here. There's only one way in this way, and the river.
2 ways.
Do we want to be this close to the river at night?
I think it's better than being out in the woods in the middle of the night.
Wait, I pissed off that thing in the water earlier.
You did?
Ooh,
Maybe we should be a little bit further away.
Yeah, I hate to break the RP jam here, but Lord Gazumba, thanks for the raid, y'all. Nice to see you. We
Jay,
appreciate
what's
you.
up?
We
Thank
you so
appreciate
much.
you.
Goodness.
Thanks a lot for stopping in. Love ya. Love ya. All right. So, you guys what's the plan here? You're going to sleep right on the river's edge, huh?
Nope.
That wasn't my call.
I think
Come
I think
on.
it might be better if we go up there.
Halfway.
I say we go to that campsite.
Okay,
Yeah.
that the captain has spoken. Tenoch,
All right.
let me help you with the boat.
I would like to use some
Thanks
of
for the
my
follows, everybody.
my
Sorry, go
magical
ahead.
powers. And
Yeah.
I will I'll cast enhance ability on on myself.
Okay.
And give myself a bull's strength.
Ooh. A bull's virility.
A bull's virility. I will carry this boat. I will carry this boat.
You're gonna single halfling portage this sucker?
I mean, probably not, but I might try.
Let's do it.
Can you catapult it?
No,
No.
it's too big.
If I could catapult this
boy.
boat, I would have been catapulting myself
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah. You guys would have already finished and won this campaign at that point. Go ahead and roll. Do you want some help? Danvirus is like, yeah, mate, you want some help? You got this?
Oh yeah, for sure. I want some help.
Theo will help as well.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
mate.
this is a big rowboat.
So, Tenoch, why don't you go ahead and roll with advantage a athletics check
Yeah.
to portage. We are at a portage on the Biori River on the Cybrit Isle in the world of Greyhawk, folks. So all the Lord Gazumba folks, just to bring you up to speed, our team here is in hot pursuit of some sort of an aberrant monster that has attacked a friend of theirs in Cyber. the port town on the western shores of Cybert Isle, and they are trying to find it. So there we go. What happened there, Tenoch?
Well, I was like, I should use my portent since I do have a natural 20.
Portent for the
but,
portage. That seems
That's
reasonable.
right, portent for the portage. But I didn't do it, and I rolled, and my best roll was an 11. But my carrying capacity is increased. So my carrying capacity with with bull strength, my carrying capacity is doubled. Whatever that means.
Yeah, I mean it helps. It certainly helps, and you've got your companions are assisting you as well. It's a little bit heavier than you thought, but certainly you are able to carry this boat up onto the high point of this portage. It takes you a little bit of time, and it's a little awkward with each of you kind of holding on to a side of it, and you leading the way, Tenoch, at the bow, sort of calling out, footfalls and footsteps, and you make your way up sort of this rocky little area up onto the area now. And the rest of you can see as you crest this rise, this abandoned campsite to the south. You set the boat down.
Just covered in scorpions.
Danverius immediately goes back down to the shoreline and grabs a pack and carries it up to the campsite, and he just kind of spends some time going back and forth carrying things up. As you look around, you see again this pathway to the sort of northeast, a broken stone staircase that leads to the southeast, and this open area with a tent laying, a canvas tent that has been torn and faded and beaten by the wind and the elements, that is now torn down by Theo's mage hand. His jazz hand, if you will.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll set some traps if you all want to set up camp.
Yeah, let's set up camp.
Sure.
What's up with this fire pit here? You said there were some things around it?
Yes, you walk up, Rhunar, to the fire pit and start looking around. Go ahead and roll an investigation check for me.
It's mandated, I heard, by the local government in Cyber that we have to use these fire pits.
Yeah, do you guys have a permit?
This is technically federal land. We're allowed to camp anywhere we want.
It was just 7, Dave.
Yeah, you look around, Rhunar, and you see assorted kind of old, rusted pots and pans, maybe a kettle for boiling water. The bedroll itself seems to be faded and torn and weathered. The canvas tarp that was serving as a tent appears to have some large tears in it. And looking around, you see what appear to be maybe some, it's hard to tell, it's in a pile, but there appear to be maybe some personal items, if you will, in a bundle, perhaps, next to the bedroll.
Does it look like it's been here for a while? You said the tent was kind of like rotted away, right?
All of the gear seems to be either torn or rusted, or maybe there's a little bit of decay and maybe some mycelia of like fungal growth on it, maybe some moss. But it's hard to tell. This is a jungle, and the jungle will recover and take back things into the jungle quite rapidly. Actually, it will take those things and cover them up and make use of them as best it can. So it's hard to say.
All right, I'm just gonna go try to round up some firewood right around the edges of the camp site.
Okay. Yeah, easy enough. There are plenty of trees, large and small. There are branches and sticks and briar patches all around the campsite. Again, you take notice as you kind of peer up to the northeast of the clearing. There's a trail that appears to disappear into the dense jungle foliage. To the southeast, there is a broken stone staircase that you can tell drops down to what appears to be some sort of a man-made platform. But yeah, you find plenty of firewood. It's not hard to find fuel for the campfire here. You do see where there are spots where branches have been cut or hewn with an axe. So other people have foraged for firewood here, but you don't have trouble finding any.
I'll go around and set some snares with my snare spell.
Okay.
Snares.
How many can you set?
4.
Very nice. General idea of locations.
I would probably set at least one on any. There's how many trails specifically leading in?
There is the portage trail that you have come up from the river.
Mm-hmm.
There is
Stairs.
there are the stone stairs to the southeast. There is a path to the northeast. Are you kind of searching for anything else in terms of where to place these, or are you just looking at the paths?
Yeah,
and the...
yeah. I'd probably check out use my skill at survival to look at maybe higher traffic areas. Look more, not necessarily looking at animal traffic areas, but maybe more unless it's fucking crocodile footprints that are up here, but human and or irregular sorts. Keeping an eye towards predators or things that eat things other than berries.
All right, so roll a survival check as you investigate tracks around these areas.
I'm going to use one of my advantages.
Nice. 13?
For a 13, sir.
Yep, so very similar to what Byron found is that there are a lot of tracks. A lot of animal tracks. You get the sense that game is abundant. Searching specifically for something more than just small mammal, perhaps more than just ungulate tracks, you kind of hone in on looking for predator tracks, maybe large cats or canids or something more aquatic like a croc.
Mm-hmm.
Up here, you don't see any of that kind of thing. What you do see is just a lot of really compacted soil where you can tell that there has been a ton of foot traffic from humans that have used this portage, maybe for centuries.
Okay.
And yeah, that's what you do. You investigate just to make sure that I'm covering my bases here? Are you looking at the trails that I mentioned that go in different directions to the northeast and the southeast specifically?
Yeah. I might take a few, maybe I don't know, 25, 50 yards up a trail.
Sure.
If that's too far, I might not go that far, but enough to feel comfortable to kind of take a look at things. And
would you say yards or feet?
Good call. Let's go maybe 50 feet up any given trail.
You get about 50 feet up the northeast trail and it doglegs to the north and goes up. You can just kind of peer through the foliage and you can see that although the vegetation kind of collapses in and grows into the trail, you can see a distinct path that heads up to the north. You also notice that there is that stone staircase.
Mm-hmm.
It is broken, crumbling. It has shifted over time. It looks extremely old, and it descends about 10 feet to what appears to be a landing that is itself encased in a stone wall with terra firma kind of packed into that stone frame. So there's a I don't know, 10 foot by 10 foot landing.
So it's like a scenic overlook.
Not really a scenic overlook, but more like a spot where where you can tell that people would portage the boat up over this rise and put the boat back in the water there, because the water continues.
Oh, it goes down to the water.
Yep.
I see what you're saying.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably throw a snare, maybe like halfway up the stairs.
Okay.
Maybe about 20 feet back down the trail the way we came. Kind of maybe like half that distance, like half the distance to the beach.
Okay.
And then one, maybe 30 feet, maybe right about that dog leg where a dog legs that the norther trail or whatever.
So about 50 feet. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you have one more, right?
Yep. And then I might find a place, maybe I'll look for a place, like foliage wise, kind of around the camp where it might be a little, like if I was to attempt a stealthy approach to the camp through the woods, what might be a good spot, and maybe throw a snare like 10 feet into the underbrush in there.
Okay, so let me just clarify. To the south of where the fire pit is, which is right up against the southern edge of the forest, or to the west of the campsite?
Let's look to the south.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. So
Wait,
right
south
on the edge
is
of...
the south towards which south is towards the river and west is inland?
There's a river that you came in on the northwest. You came in.
Oh, okay.
And then you went up over the rise, and then the river continues off of that stone landing to the southeast.
Okay. Yeah, let's do the
Yep.
south. Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that.
Okay. All right, so you've got 4 snares. What are other folks doing?
Theo's gonna help get the camp started, the fire up, start making dinner using the most important spice of all, magic.
Life? Love? Wait, what?
His
Magic.
secret recipe. All right, so you're getting food ready, which is always appreciated at a campsite when you're hauling heavy gear up over a portage. What about you, Byron?
Byron's going to be setting his tent up. He's going to set up his tent and go to sleep.
Oh, okay. All right. So Byron just kind of racks out pretty quick as you guys get settled in. What about you, Rhunar?
I'm just helping Theo get the camp set up and kind of settling in.
We're simple creatures just settling in and having a campsite, hoping no monsters murder us in the night.
Dan Virius walks over to the tent area where it was and sort of the gear that's around. He starts kind of kicking it a little bit. And he pulls out his sword and sort of turns things over and kind of pushes them into a pile. He's like, not much of use here. What's this over here? And he kind of looks over at the bedroll, and there's a bit of a bundle next to the bedroll that he sort of kicks, and it kind of rolls over. And let's see. Probably Theo, you would notice this because you're right by the fire pit cooking. You've got the fire going at the fire pit, and you see you just faintly catch a glimmer from the firelight, and you also hear the thunder a little bit closer than it was before, as if the rains are moving in.
Theo will get up from what he's doing and kind of go over to look at whatever the hell Danvarius just kind of kicked out.
Yeah, take a look at that, mate. and he kind of kneels down, and with his dagger now, he kind of points at it, and you come over, Theo, and you look down as well, and you see a partially obscured piece of metal. It appears as though, from what you can tell, it's not fully exposed. It's only partially exposed. That it has some sort of a golden element to it, perhaps cast in gold.
Back up for just a second, and Theo kind of just hops back maybe a foot and begins to cast Mage Hand, Spectral Hand, and then uses the Spectral Hand to kind of start, shoving sand away, brushing it up, pulling a little bit, brushing it past, just kind of slowly unearthing, almost like an archaeologist, apparently.
I like it. And as you do that, you uncover, and the hand peels back a bit of the bundle fabric to expose what appears to be some sort of an amulet on a chain.
Dun, dun, dun.
The Mage Hand just kind of picks it up slowly, and because I can do that, Theo invokes the Eldritch Sight, and his eyes turn, slight electric blue and glow faintly in the dark, and cast Detect Magic.
Your eyes flash blue, and you examine this dangling medallion that you have held in front of you by your mage hand. It does not ping or give off a magical essence. However, you finally catch a full glimpse of this, and it appears to be some sort of a sunburst stylized amulet. And you can tell right away as you lift it up and look at it, it kind of gently swings and rotates in front of you. There is what appears to be a missing stone that would sit into the center of the amulet.
Theo's gonna sigh, reach out with his actual hand to kind of cup and grasp the amulet in his palm. Does it look about the size of a certain opal?
Not really.
Okay, good. That's what he was worried about.
It looks more the size of like a pink pearl. No,
How
I'm just
dare
kidding.
you?
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just
You
kidding.
son
I'm
of
just
a
kidding.
bitch!
Theo, as you examine the amulet, Theo, you've got it in your hand now. You take a look at it, and you see that there is some sort of an inscription that is engraved in the amulet itself. However, and this is on the back of the amulet. However, it appears as though whatever that inscription was has been scratched out to the point of being almost unreadable.
This is this looks like something of religious significance, and has been defaced. He flips it over. He's pointing out, and he's kind of hopped and ambled back over to the fire at this point to get a good light on it. I was just kind of saying this so everyone can hear it.
And as you say that, you just kind of hear this scoff laughter, and you hear the word Celosia. It says Celosia, and as you turn, you see a faint shimmering figure sitting at the fire on a log, warming its hands.
Next to me.
Yep, right next to Rhunar. Right next to
Ben,
Rhunar.
is that you, old Ben?
So Theo's just kind of squint over at him and let Rhunar say what he was going to say.
Oh, I don't know what I was going to say.
Yeah, Rhunar. It is like there's nobody there, and suddenly there is a person sitting next to you. Except when I say a person, I mean like this kind of apparition, this blue shimmering, kind of almost fading in and out of the light. The flickering of the campfire as it casts and illuminates shadows and light spots on you and your companions seems to have no effect on this individual as it sits there next to you.
I'm just kind of bolt up, kind of move back from him a couple feet.
Celosia. That's what it said, or what it used to say.
Well, that's good to know. Hello, who are you?
Who are you? What is this?
Who am I? And he looks around and he says, "Oh, my, yes. Pardon my rudeness. My name is Tyrellian. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. How awkward." And he kind of looks around a little bit.
Well, to be fair, this is not the type of place one needs to stand on ceremonial rules, so it's quite all right.
He looks at you, Theo, as you speak to him, and he says, "The amulet. Have you taken it from me? Are you brigands? Are you here to rob me?
We're just travelers.
Travelers, yes.
Do- do-
Travelers.
Do you need it back?" And Theo will literally hold it out and offer it to him.
He reaches out to take it, but his hand just passes right through it as he tries to grab it from you. What has happened? What has happened to me?
Theo's gonna look to Tenoch and kind of give him the "how do you want to play this" look.
I'm probably still off in the woods doing my thing, setting snares.
Likely.
What do
Hey,
you remember?
Tenoch, you might want to get up here.
Have you been here
Tenoch.
for long?
What? He looks around. He looks at you for the first time. Who are you? Who? Yes. Oh, how strange. My tent. What has happened? What has happened? Whoa. He looks around. My boat. Celosia. Where is she? Where's Celosia? He stands up, or what serves as a standing up for an apparition. My love. Have you seen her? And he tries to grab you, Theo, but his hand just kind of goes right through like your collar area as he tries to kind of grab your lapel. What has happened?
My friend, I have news that is going to be a shock to you, and you're probably not going to believe it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't think you're alive anymore.
I walk up.
Wait. You're saying that I'm dead?
You appear to be, yes. This is news to us as well.
Are you a wizard?
No.
Then you're probably dead.
I don't understand how's.
Nor do I. My Celosia. Do you know where she is? Please, can you help me?
We do not know where she is now, but if we can help seek her, I believe.
The amulet. The stone is missing. That was hers. That was hers. That was her necklace.
What stone is missing?
It was a ruby stone. This amulet I gave to her on our wedding night. We came to the glades to seek a life together that was not available in cyber. I am just a simple man destined to work my life with no accumulation of wealth or status or lands, but she loved me.
Who was she?
My dearest Celosia, my love. I
Tenoch?
remember this place.
What kept you from the city?
We sought our own way.
Was she a chieftain's daughter? Was she power?
Yes, she was of wealth. She was of status, but it meant nothing to her. Love is what meant everything.
Status in cyber or from beyond the island?
Cyber, we are both from cyber. I was from cyber. Now, I do not sense her presence.
Was
Is she
coming here the
here?
last thing you remember?
I recognize this place, and as you ask that question, he kind of floats about the space, this clearing area. I remember camping here with my love, Celosia. And he starts weeping. Yes, this is... I remember nothing beyond this place.
Well, it is good that we find nothing of hers here, so whatever happened, she left this place.
The stone.
Stone?
Perhaps the stone, the missing stone from the amulet. Grant me the power to remember what has happened. Can you help me? He looks at you, Tenoch.
Dave,
Can you...
Can I go search the rest of that pack the amulet fell out of? Like, can I just
Sure.
like go through it real quick, make sure the stone's not in there?
Yep, absolutely. You do not find it inside the pack. You
don't.
pull out clothing that appears to be, nice. There's some women's clothing that seems to be a little bit nicer, and some men's clothing that seems to be a little bit plainer. But you do not find. You empty out the pack in the bundle, and you do not find the stone that belongs to the amulet. What will I do? Can you help me? Please, Celosia, my dearest.
Well, we're planning on going. Where are we going? Which direction? Was it to the north?
We up the river.
Southeast.
Yeah.
Oh,
That way.
okay. We're on the portage, and the portage is on the other side of that platform.
That's where the river picks up. Yeah, it seems.
Yeah,
it almost seems like the river goes underneath, through like some sort of a underground sort of culvert, if you will, or like.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a large body of water on the other side that seems to have pooled up. The river continues in that direction.
We will do what we can to help you. We will seek Celosia, or the ruby of this necklace. If we can find her, we will return it to her.
Where were you traveling to?
We did not have a defined destination, but we knew that there were villages beyond this point, perhaps where we could seek a life together. Many people, younger folk from cyber have made this journey. We wanted to just be together. Celosia, my dear Celosia. I feel that she is here still. Somewhere. Have you seen her? He tries to grab you, Byron, and his hand just kind of goes right through your jacket. Please, can you help me? It's almost like he's like trying to plead with you.
We just
We
just got here, but we've looked all around this area and we haven't seen anybody.
Is there a direction you feel her in?
Guys, there's a ghost.
Yeah, we're talking
Here.
to him, Byron.
We know.
It's okay. He's not. He seems harmless anyway.
Oh, Oh God.
Theo gives you a look like,
Oh man.
Welcome to the party.
Oh man, I was taking a nap, dude.
do you know a direction you feel her in? Up
Well,
the river, up the trail?
I don't feel anything.
What did she
Talking to the
tell me?
We're talking to the ghost, Byron.
Why are you talking to the ghost, guys?
He's talking to us.
She said
It's a
she
trap.
said she would visit. She said she would visit. She said Solosia.
Solosia.
She's
What's your-
here.
She
What's your
said she
name,
would
Ghost?
visit you.
And he turns and he looks to the west, and he says,
Does she have a grandmother?
"There." And he points to the
Ah.
west.
I don't want to know that answer.
Does she have a grandmother?
No.
Do you ask that?
don't. No. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Jeez.
I asked it.
He looks confused. Yes, we all have grandmothers. That's how babies are made.
Okay.
You know what I
going
mean.
Go to the
Everybody has a grandmother.
Hey, Dan Various.
It sounded weirder than it meant to be sounded.
Hey, Dan Various. Maybe you stay here and watch the camp, and we're gonna deal with this.
Yeah, Dan Varys' eyes are just like, and he's like, yeah, mate, yeah, I think you're right about that. I'll just kind of keep the fire going then, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
are we hoping? What are we hoping to do for this ghost?
See if his honey is still around, and if not, lay everyone to rest.
I think it.
I'm looking for a good solution. That's the best one I have right now.
Theo,
Wait.
if they're alive, he's dead
Don't-
anyways.
Shh.
Do we know what's to the west?
My dear Celosia,
Oh man. I'm
thanks for the
gonna.
subscription, Zerathon and on.
Nothing good happens from this.
Nothing good happens if we don't do anything else.
I would like to
And
cast the
Theo
bones.
gives Byron like a pointed look, trying as hard as he can to communicate that keeping the ghost happy is the best option we have right now.
I would like to cast my bones and make use of the spell augury.
Ah, yes.
Um,
For Greyhawk.
it is a cool spell for Greyhawk.
Yes.
I will. So here's the spell here. Boop, boop.
Wheel and woe, etc., etc.
Yeah. And so I will.
Tell us about this ritual.
Results specific course of action. Yeah, I will. I guess inquire to the. Whoops! I didn't mean to do that twice. Providence, I guess, of finding this, of looking for this woman, since that is the action which we will do in the next amount of time.
Is it safe to say you call upon the mother tiger for this?
Yeah. So this is a less direct sort of fashion than divination, which is I was tempted to do, but I might have to use a 4th level spell later for killing. I don't know yet. So
Sure.
but I do have a specific kit for augury. I have a bag of teeth and claws with different runes and glyphs marked on them that I can cast upon the ground for this reading.
Okay. And it is specifically for the action of.
Look, I guess looking I'm gonna say of searching for this woman, Celestia.
Celosia.
Celosia.
Celosia. My dearest Celosia.
We're looking for Felicia.
Felicia. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you take a minute and you guys watch as he utilizes his kit of claws and bones to kind of channel some some inspiration on what might happen, and you get a sense of both weal and woe.
All of them are standing on fucking edge.
They're just like, yeah, as if they were like electrified. Yeah.
I kind of look at them. I look up at the sky. Let's hunt. And I pick them up. I can't let that stand. That would get weird if they just stood there the whole time. Yeah, let's to the west. Oh no, Michael's gone.
Definitely hit a wrong button. Coming back in.
All right.
Yes. So you, Tenoch, what is your then, I guess, suggestion to the crew?
I'll pick him up and start like striding towards this direction that he has pointed out.
Theo just hops up and follows right after.
Is there a
Okay.
trail?
Roll a perception check, Rhunar. Let's get Michael back in here.
21.
There we go, Rhunar.
Michael.
Rhunar fucking Deg.
There are some reasons why he's the captain.
Yeah. What did you roll?
21.
Okay. Very nice. Yeah, you quickly, as you scan the western edge of this clearing, the rain now starting to pitter patter and fall down on top of you. You look at the western edge of this clearing and you do see what appears to be broken branches, and as you kind of peel back a little bit of the vegetation, you see a trail that leads into the jungle to the west.
This is gonna be just like that crypt in that forest.
Yeah, good look, fellas. Call if you need me.
You sure you don't want to come with?
And he's just kind of poking the fire. Yeah, well, I was told to stay here and keep the fire going, but yeah,
All right.
you just let me know if you need me.
All right. Let's go check this out.
Guys, I don't like ghosts.
He's
Me
very
neither.
friendly. He's very friendly, Byron. You should talk to him.
Thank you for helping me. My Celosia, we must find her. She is here, and he kind of floats past you into the jungle, leading you in deeper into the vegetation to the west of this clearing. And as you all sort of follow behind him, creeping into the jungle, the vegetation kind of falling back into place behind you and kind of closing you in, you head west. And as you do, what's the marching order here, just real quick?
Sounds like Tenoch and then Theo and then whatever those two in the back are doing.
Yeah, I'll be behind Theo.
Okay, and then
Do we want?
I'll be
Just-
tentatively following Rhunar, but I'll have like my hand on like the back of his shirt. Like, this
Okay.
isn't a good idea. Like getting pulled along, but like hesitant.
Theo will, as
Who
we're
let the
watching,
wizard lead?
just kind of slow.
We're just gonna check it
enough
out.
to Yell back and to talk back to Byron. It's like, it's either keep the ghost happy or fight it.
We
Yeah,
could
I don't
always
think
just
this guy's
tell the
going
ghost to
anywhere.
just move on.
I can
I don't
hear you, says the
I don't
ghost.
think he'll-
Celosia.
I don't think
All
he'll
right.
listen, Byron.
Then we
You
kill-
follow the ghost, and Tenoch, You are in the lead right behind Tyrellian as he guides you deeper into the jungle to the west.
I cast
Also-
mage armor.
Okay.
He casts Mage Armor. I'm going to light a torch.
You light up a torch, and you kind of like hold back the vegetation as you kind of climb under it. Whatever trail you're on has been overgrown, and it's not really much of a trail per se. That's why it was hard to see from the clearing. But Tenoch, you're the first to notice it. As you step forward, you emerge into a clearing. And above you looms in the darkness and the rain now starting to fall on you, this monsoon storm above you, thunder crashing. You see this temple, the ruins, the Pinyara ruins.
I was wondering why they
Looming.
called it the Ruins Portage.
And you're about to find out next time on Beyond Saltmarsh. Dun dun dun!
Yes.
TPK. Next session.
Raid
Next
the
week.
temple.
Be here.
Raid
Wednesday.
the temple.
Temple.
7 p.m. Central Time.
This
It's
temple will
temple
not make
time.
it out without being on fire.
It's
Watch our
obviously
entire
full of
party
treasure.
die, filled with ghosts.
We
Celosius the
shall see.
I'm
dragon.
excited.
They bury
Hey.
treasure in temples.
That's one of those things. It's D&D. You got to go into the ruins when the plot device shows up, because that's how you get the loot.
That's how
That's
you
right.
do it.
Loot.
And let me
loot.
tell you, we could use some loot. Am I right?
I know. I'm a little
Yeah.
stingy with
Next
loot, I think.
session.
Yeah.
Well, we
all right.
also
We're
don't
gonna
run
be looting our new characters.
into dungeons. Like,
That's true.
Right.
there's that weird balance with D&D where it's like you want to be smart and go, why would my character logically want to go into the fucking monster-infested ruin?
Yeah.
And we haven't
I mean-
been like taking other ships with our ship.
No, you haven't done any of that pirating stuff. There were some early on delves that you did where you didn't really, and why would your character do this, but explore every single room. You know, you guys have passed by loot.
Yeah. Yeah, we have.
On occasion.
And we
But-
were told that was a real bad place to go. Eh,
And
Yes,
we had
you were-
notably gotten our ass kicked a couple times up front.
You were forewarned about that
that's true.
spot.
We were warned.
Yeah.
We are a cautious set of adventurers, as strange as that might be.
Yeah, and I mean
Um,
you've only had one TPK on
That's true.
the Skull Dunes.
We already got
Yeah.
that out of the way.
And
Yeah, we
two
got that out of the
dogs.
way.
That was a long time.
Speaking, my friends, of loot, we have facilitated the ability for you, dear viewer, to attain some loot of your own from our friends at CZRPG. A really dope map pack about Mordenkainen's magnificent mansion. Did I get that? Did I get that right?
Yeah, you nailed it. So let's just do this, folks. We would love you to enter to win the this awesome map pack. Hey, look, if you're a DM, it's going to be awesome. It is a map set of the fabled mansion of the Mad Mage, Mordenkainen. It also has a variety of
different
really
guy.
cool. It also has really cool wilderness map backgrounds that you can use. I would have loved to have had this in our Curse of Strahd adventure because we actually did run into the Mad Mage in Barovia, and I did not have a map for that. But our friends at CZRPG, who are our stream sponsors, have a map for that, and you might win it tonight. If you want to throw your hat into the ring, is that a thing? I don't know if that's the phrase. CZRPG. Just type that into the chat. Kirk is going to show you how to do it real quick. It's super easy. We're going to do a drawing here just shortly. It looks like we've got a bunch of people here in the running here, including Vamp Wickman.
He's gonna win again. Just watch it.
And this guy.
Totally random unless he's in it.
Look, things happen. It's randomized. We don't know what's going to happen. However,
And-
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and if there are other needs that you have in the map, or perhaps the small adventure or plot seed realm, going to a link that's somewhere
Right below you.
around us, right below you for CZRPG. They
It's
have
actually right below you.
a ton of. Oh yeah, it's right
Yep.
there.
It's
They
right
have a
there.
ton of really awesome products. Desert temples, swamp temples, jungles, Ravenloft stuff.
Ziggurats, if you will.
Ziggurat.
I just posted the link. So I just posted the link in the chat, and there is the link to the DM's Guild where CZRPG has their entire catalog. Check it out. But hey, there's some folks here who, you know, want to win some stuff. So
let's do it.
Let's do that. Chad, would you be so kind as to do the honors of a 5-second countdown for us?
I will. 5, 4, 3, 2, and my favorite, 1.
Number 1. Here we go. Sorrow's Tale. Sorrow's Tale, if you're here, please let us know. And you have won this awesome Mordenkainen's magnificent map pack. Congratulations. Congratulations. Sorrow's Tale.
Hey.
Awesome work. Awesome work. I will send you a whisper, is what they're called in the parlance of Twitch, and send you the link. Christian, folks at CZRPG, thank you so much for sponsoring us. We appreciate you. Everybody who's been with us watching tonight and hanging out and contributing to the chat, we appreciate you. Gazumba, thanks for the raid. Top Down Tabletop, thanks for the raid. You guys are awesome. It means a lot to us to have folks having a good time with us while we play D&D in Greyhawk. Have a great night, everybody. We love you. We appreciate you. I don't know if I should keep talking or just go straight to... Oh, hey, here's something. Let's do this. Let's raid somebody. Let's raid it. Let's raid it forward. Yeah, is Phoenix live, Chad?
Phoenix
do you know?
Is on.
Okay, we're gonna do it.
Right
I love
raiding. Hang on, let me see if there's anybody. His show hasn't started yet.
It hasn't? All right, well, let's look for somebody who's live.
He's still in the starting... I mean, he's live. He's starting soon screen.
27...
I'll tell him to start so we can raid him.
Yeah, really. Let me just kind of look here.
Hey, start your stream so we can raid you.
Yeah, right. Uh, 20 sides to every story is going right now. Maybe we can go to them. And then they can raid into somebody.
And then there will be another raid. And then another,
somebody
and
just
then
raided
another.
Phoenix with one person. It was...
You gotta raid it
small,
forward.
But yeah.
That's true. That's true. Holy crap. I'm in a time warp here. I'm in a time warp of Twitch ads. All right, here we go. We're going to raid. We're going to raid 20 sides to every story. Folks, thank you so much. Join the raid. We appreciate it. I'm going to drop to our end screen. Thank you. Love you all. Take care.